This is a book review of the book Transparency: How Leaders Create a Culture of Candor, written by Warren Bennis, Daniel Goldman, James O'Toole, and Patricia Biederman in 2008, and presented by Amy Leleux in partial fulfillment of Nursing 5343, Nursing Leadership in Complex Healthcare Systems at the University of Texas at Arlington College of Nursing, instructed by Dr. Jeanette Crenshaw. Warren Bennis is a distinguished professor of management at the University of Southern California, and he's the founding chairman of the Leadership Institute there as well. He is also the chairman of the board at Harvard University's Center for Public Leadership. He has been a consultant for many Fortune 500 company leaders, and Mr. Bennis is the author of best-selling books on management and leadership. Daniel Goldman is a psychologist. He's the co-director of the Consortium for Research on Emotional Intelligence in Organizations, based at Rutgers University, and the author of best-selling books. James O'Toole is a Daniels Distinguished Professor of Business Ethics at the University of Denver's Daniels College of Business, and he has authored many books. Patricia Ward Biederman is a former staff writer for the Los Angeles Times. She's a prize-winning reporter and columnist, and she's co-authored a national bestseller book. The target audience for Transparency: Creating a Culture of Candor includes contemporary leaders, future leaders, and people in organizations who wish to be better leaders or followers. One of the strengths of this book is that it's easy to read. It's 3 short essays which can be completed in one day or 3 short sittings. There are vivid examples of both classic and contemporary leaders throughout the book. The examples are with corporations of differing backgrounds, including oil companies, healthcare, and government agencies, all represented. The advice given can be applied to anyone in leadership in any type of organization. The first essay describes what is a culture of candor, what it takes to have this culture, and the benefits to leaders and organizations who choose to create a culture of candor. The common practices which prevent developing this culture are also discussed. The second essay discusses speaking the truth to those in power and the historical ramifications for those who have chosen to do so, and the link between creating transparency is discussed. The last essay discusses the society we live in today, the benefits and the not so desirable outcomes of living in a transparent society. The shortcomings of the book include the fact that younger readers may not be familiar with some of the examples used. This book is not an exact method or a step-by-step instruction manual. Also, when I was reading, I considered that there may be a political bias or agenda against certain groups or people who are named in the book. The objectives of the book, according to the author, is to explore the topic of transparency. What is its promise? What are the risks? And why should leaders understand and think about transparency? What it means to be a transparent leader, create a transparent organization, and live in a transparent world culture. These essays offer insight and inspire leaders to expand their view and act more thoughtfully when issues of transparency could potentially arise. These objectives, as described by the author, were met and covered thoroughly. In reading this book, I was prompted to think about issues I had not previously considered and be more cautious in certain circumstances. And it reinforced some of the beliefs I already possess. I recommend anyone involved in leadership to read Transparency: How Leaders Create a Culture of Candor. Thank you for your time and input, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.